Boo. And welcome everyone to Locked On Lads TV. We are running late, but we are here. I tried to do some silly things and getting the other new PC working in time, but I couldn't. So that's why we're running a little bit late. Apologies. I'm Peter Wilkinson, and we're here tonight for Indianapolis in the ANZCAR Thunder Series Round 9. We're almost at the end of the season. Who's going to win? I do not know, but we're going to find out in the next couple of weeks, which is very exciting. I'm joined tonight by the very sick and very unwell and the very person who's not going to talk much tonight, Carl Wilkinson Withy. How you going, mate?
Good, thanks, Wilco. It's good to be back up here in the box. Hello, everybody. Missed everything. Missed you all, of course. Absolutely fascinating championship. It is very tight at the top between the Mitch Motorsport drivers at the moment. Hamish Gallagher, of course, the Xfinity Whisperer, you can say, leading the championship by 5 points ahead of his teammate Josh Micklemore. So that is going to be interesting to see which one of the Mitch cars can get the victory out there tonight here at Indianapolis. A very tricky track for these Xfinity cars.
That's it. Indianapolis is it's one of those tracks you got to love to go to. It's so steeped in fame. It's obviously where you want to go if you want to drink a milk and a brickyard and all that kind of stuff. But Jesus, it's tricky. It's that
not in a NASCAR.
No, it's one of those tracks that's going to bring up some really, really good racing tonight. Who's it going to suit the most? Do you reckon, out of your long history with this place? It's not an oval; it's a square with some bent corners to it. It's actually got 4 corners. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it is a super speedway. It is a very fast track still, even though it has got those quite tight corners. I think it's going to favour somebody that can look after their tyres. So people like Dyson, Gallagher, they're going to be ones to watch out for. Watch out for Jason Martin because he is incredibly good at this track. Jason Martin is probably going to be my pick tonight. And I'm sorry, Jason, in advance for wrecking your race. But keep an eye out for him because he could be really good here. Yep. Ryan Jones is another one of those drivers that's got some speed in the car. We saw Jaden Russell take the win last week as well. Watch out for those two. They're starting back on the 3rd row, so they could be in for a chance tonight. It just depends how it falls. And of course, you can see on the start-finish straight there, it's a very sort of narrow start-finish straight because you've got those walls either side. So if you have an accident in this section, it can lead to an incredibly big crash, and it can take out a lot of the cars from the field.
Big crashes. That's our speciality, Carl. Bring it on. Can't wait. Look, let's quickly go through the grid that we've got tonight. We've got a 26 strong field right now. We do have Andrew Dyson on the front of the grid next to Hamish Gallagher, Jason Martin, as you said, in 3rd, Josh Micklemore in 4th, Ryan Jones in 5th, Jaden Russell in 6th, Neil Pearson in 7th, Kobe Jordan in 8th, Norman Clark 9th, Luke Jorgensen 10th, Nigel Patton in 11th, Tom Neal, if he turns up by the time we launch, is in 12th, Stevie Dubb 13th, Luke Trahair 14th, Brad Fenley in 15th, Wesley Closey. I'm going to stuff that up every time. 16th, Nathan Rollick in 17th, Reuben Phelps in 18th, Michael Skurlock 19th, Matty Raymond in 20th, Tom Pritchard 21st, Gary Willman 22nd, Christian Cock in 23rd, Matty Hunter in 24th, Noddy Tompkins in 25th, and Stevie Hoppert has not made the grid, but he is there in 26th in case he decides to come in at some stage during the night in his Chevrolet Camaro. So,
yeah, it's typical Chevy. It can't get out of the pit lane, so it's started off well for Steve.
That's it. Let's go to the drone here as we watch Andrew Dyson come around, just making way. We saw a bit of a fun from him on Sunday night over in our other broadcast that we do. He was pushing and shoving all the way through the old, what do you call it? The old safety car. No, I didn't do it. The pace car, the caution period. But yeah, he looks like he's getting ready to have a bit of fun tonight, as he always does. Let's have a look what the starter can see. Look at that. Look at the crowd that's turned out tonight for the ANZCAR Thunder. Is this epic or what, Carl? Look at them all. They're all ready to go.
Yeah, it's a beautiful look. It's an amazing place. The biggest stadium in the world, biggest seating capacity in the world, I think it is, from the top of my memory. It's ridiculous how many people can fit inside there, and that's why it was used as a vaccination centre. But it is a really important place, and the cars are just coming around getting ready to take the start here for round number 9 of season 2 of the ANZCAR Thunder series here on Locked On Lads TV. Pace car is going to pull into pit lane, and we are going to go racing. The green flag will drop here at the Brickyard for the Indianapolis race of the Thunder series. Dyson just getting ready. It's a long way to the start finish line. You can see them getting ready. The green flag drops and away they go. Good start from Dyson. He just gets away beautifully there. The car does not bog down at all. You can see there Josh Mickelman bogging down a little bit, struggling on the start, and he's going to drop back and maybe lose a place to Ryan Jones.
Yes, Ryan Jones is coming up the inside. He's going to push his way up into potentially third, but definitely fourth underneath Mickelman at the moment, as Hamish finds himself out wide, not getting the pace that he needs. But Jason Martin slots in front of him and is now leading the chase to bring Dyson back down to this pack. Brad Fenley was one that tried to jump out and get a few at the start grid there further back, as Dyson comes around nicely off the apron and back up to the wall here. The one thing I did learn about this track is you need to get the overtakes made before the exit of the corner, otherwise you just lose speed coming down the straight. Is that something that I've said right, Carl?
Yeah, absolutely. It's once you jump out of the draft, you just hit that wall. But if you get close to the wall like Dyson is doing, you can use that little bit of advantageous little bit of aero that comes with that, and you can see both him and Jason Martin are doing that perfectly at the moment. Watch out for Martin later in the stint. One thing to look out for as well as on the overtakes is the side draft of the cars. You get a bit of side wash on the cars, especially through turns. I think it's 3 and 4 here. And what happens is the car just gets a bit loose, and you'll see a lot of cars spinning because of that, and they can just get loose as they go underneath the car in front of them. If they're on the rear sort of quarter panel, the front end will go loose, and they sometimes can lose the rear of the car. I saw that in practice quite a bit, and especially in the latter states of the race, once the tyres start to wear out, those rear tyres will start to get a little bit hot, and the right front will start to get a little bit warm as well, and a bit worn. That is when you're in the danger zone, getting underneath somebody for the overtake, and that can cause a spin and sometimes a big accident.
Yes, as we see Luke George's been done overtaken by Luke Trahair down the inside here. The After Dark Motorsports cars are going 1-2 into this corner here. And behind him is Nigel Patton looking to take advantage of it, but doesn't quite get able to do that. While we're talking about the Indy, I don't know what it is. It's the Indianapolis Thunder Series. We've got 60 laps here tonight. It's brought to you originally by Vision Motorsports, which is Matty Hunter's team because we had no sponsor. But Locked On Lads is overtaking it with our charity drive, so look out for that. It's next week. Next week's broadcast will start off the charity drive. We'll be raising money for Cure Cancer. So lockedonlads.com/charity is your place to go grab that details if you want to do it. There'll be the Wednesday night broadcast for I think it's Michigan we're at next week. I'll find that out later.
Yes, it is. It's the Michigan 150.
There you go. We'll be doing that next week. I'll hopefully, fingers crossed, be racing vets on Thursday night at Monza in Split 3, so don't get excited, everyone. Friday night...
racing Sebastian Vettel?
No, way down. Friday night we'll be doing our last practice because this is all centered around the Spa 24-hour. We will be taking on the Spa 24-hour Locked On Racing. So we will do a practice session Friday night, which you can come along and join us, have a bit of fun while we relax and get ready for our final stints. And then Saturday morning we start, and we race all the way through to Sunday morning, raising charity money for Cure Cancer. So like I said, lockedonlads.com/charity is your place to get that timing schedule and the link for that. We'll be wrapping it up that night with the Australasia Supercars E-Series broadcast live from the iRacing Super Speedway, which will be an exciting little thing for those V8 cars to go around on their sides. It's going to be good fun. So keep an eye out for all that. Now, they're doing a good job here, Carl. They're staying nose to tail. Everyone's staying in the draft all the way down this field. No one's stepping out except for I get to here. We're going almost 3 wide. Skurlock's trying to push his way down between Matty Raymond and Nathan Rollick, is it? No, it's Tom Pritchard. And Pritchard goes wide, lets Raymond through. Skurlock's on his rear, though. He wants to take advantage of this and start pushing his way up the field. No one's really jumped up a few places except for that one we saw before. Luke Trahare's, I think we just said Skurlock, has got this run
Well,
down the straight.
Jaden Russell's just made a big move on Ryan Jones, so he's just moved up a couple of spots. Jaden Russell up 2 places. Luke Trahare's the biggest gainer at the moment. Luke Trahere is leading the Dark Knights, the night crawl racing entry, leading the After Dark entries. So a lot of nighttime activity teams there. But Luke Trahare's
Ooh, he's
gained
gonna-
5 spots so far this race, and he might gain a 6th here if he can get underneath Kobe Jordan right now.
He
He's
has.
making the move, and he gets that indeed.
He's going to have Micklemore lined up here too. I think he's going to get a run here. Micklemore's stepping out and looking at Ryan Jones to see if he can get his way past, but I think Luke's going to fall into Luke's clutches here. The thing you got to be careful of, you can see there Josh Micklemore got very close to the grass.
Just jumping up to the front, we've got to take a move for position on for first place at the moment as Jason Martin gets a beautiful run. Hamish Gallagher's going to try and take advantage of it as he pushes Dyson just slightly offline. Dyson has the mind to take back the line, so Hamish Gallagher can't make the move. But Martin getting the lead of the race. I said watch out for Martin here. He is quick at Indianapolis. And Hamish Gallagher now getting a really good run off of turn 2 on Dyson. He's going to get a beautiful slipstream down this back straight right now and into turn number 3. If Dyson goes up a little bit higher, you could see Gallagher trying to take the move. He eases off a little bit in the mid-corner. Gallagher's going to try and get him on the exit here. Dyson's just got to watch out for Gallagher getting underneath him through turn 4. Will he make it? Not quite this time round, but look at Jaden Russell sitting back there as well. He's looking to make a bit of a move too.
Yeah, and we've got Wesley Closey's gone down 2 laps, so I don't know what's happened there, but he's the only one off the lead lap. Everyone's within 9 seconds of the lead. Look at these cars, nose to tail. Jason Martin skipped out to a 6/10 of a second lead right now as these 3 battle it out for 2nd and 3rd on the podium and 4th. But Jaden Russell's got some speed. He had some speed last week too. He looked very good on the track, and Hamish looks good always, and Dyson's just always up in our booth having a chat. So these 3 are definitely well known to where they are running at the field at the moment. Jones is the interesting one. He's dropping back a little bit at the moment. He's in the clutches of Micklemore, who had a really terrible start. And Luke Trahare's just on the back of him now. What I was going to say before is you see Micklemore's getting really low there. The problem with getting really low there is you do bring that grass into play. And if you do get on that grass, that can cause immense problems. So just watch out for the guys going just a little bit too low when their concentration just runs out, midway through the race as we head into lap number 10 of the 60 that we've got planned for tonight. So we're already a sixth of the way through it. Moving along in a rapid race, which is good. I need to get some sleep as we watch Sherlock come through the track right now.
Yeah, it'd be nice for a quick finish tonight. I think it would be a bit, make life a little bit easier. But Wesley Closely just having an issue out of turn 3. He caught the wall heavily, really damaged the front right suspension of the car and had to go in for repairs, so that's why he's 2 laps down at the moment. Meanwhile, Skurlock's trying to make his way up through the field. He's just sitting on the back of Maddie Ray at the moment. Skurly's car is a little bit loose in the rear. I'm just noticing he's just getting a little bit tail happy and just having to put a little bit of corrective steering in there, just following it in the wake of Maddie Ray. As you said, we're about 10 laps in now, so this is when the tyres start to go off a little bit in these cars as well. Remember, 700 odd horsepower in these things. They are very, very quick cars. There is no fancy gadgets on them. They don't really have anything really advanced on them at all other than a steering wheel. And they can really struggle on tyre wear and things like that. So it can catch you out a little bit if you go a little bit too hard too quickly.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing I've always noticed when I've come here. Tyres can be a real issue once you get fairly well into the stints. So it'll be interesting to see who holds on as Brad Fenley gets really low there as he tries to get past and does get past Gary Wellman as well. So Brad Fenley doing some moves at the moment. 2 green cars. Actually, he hasn't moved anywhere. He's still the position he started. But doing a good job there, getting past Wellman, diving down into turn 3-4 there. You see that.
Fenley just getting back his position from Gary Wellman. Gary Wellman having a good run, actually up 6 positions. So the Mean Green machines are fighting their way through the field at the moment, and they're doing a good job. Just behind them is Reuben Phelps. Keep an eye out for him as well. He tends to It tends to be struggling in qualifying recently, but then has some really good race run pace as well. So long run pace tends to be his benefactor. Luke Trahare's got some damage to the front of his car, so I'm going back to see what's happened there. So on lap 9, I think it was, he's just had a bit of an issue. He's just run up wide into turn number 2, I think it is. No, sorry, turn 1. He's just run up wide in turn 1 and took a big whack on the front of that car. So there's a bit of front end damage on there.
Yeah, you can see just on the left there, it's all dinted on the outside of the car there. Oh yeah, very good pickup. So yeah, that'll obviously hurt him with a little bit of steering, I guess. But other than that, we see here Reuben Phelps trying to dive down the inside of Gary Wellman, not succeeding this time. But he pushes through the corner and he might just be able to make it carry as Gary goes really high there, which is...
You will just see behind them, you've got the 350 there of Skurlock, who just made a move on Matty Ray. So those two are catching on this battle as these two fight it out at the moment. So as these two are battling, it's helping Matty Ray and Skurlock catch up to them.
Yeah, and it's helping. You can see there in front, Brad Fenley's jumped away. Brad Fenley only just overtook Wellman just not long ago, so he's already jumped well and truly up from these guys. So this battling, you can see how much it really does hurt. As they're going to almost go 3 wide, you can see Skurlock there. He's got every thought of jumping down the inside here at turn 1, and he does, and he makes it stick. Matty Raymond thinks about it but doesn't quite have enough pace to pull it off, but he's well and truly done it through the exit of turn 1. Goes into turn 2 and now has Reuben Phelps in his sights as Reuben skips away and starts to chase down Benlay. Raymond's going to take on Wellman as well here. I wonder if Wellman is just got a little bit of a niggly issue there or something or other. Doesn't look like there's any damage on his car, but
there's a bit of damage on the front right. So he has got a little bit of damage on that front right. It's not a huge amount, but it could be affecting the steering a little bit. There's just a little bit of a crinkle on there, and he is just, the back end of that car is not quite holding on as well as it was in the early stages. So he's starting to lose a little bit of pace from that.
As we head back up the front, it's Neil Pearson's moved his way up into this bunch that we're looking at before, so he's doing a great job of moving up the field there to be almost on the back of Andrew Dyson, his teammate. This group that was battling for 3 spots, 2nd through 4th, is almost going to be about 5-6 cars here in the not too distant future, as we head to lap 15 of 60. So we're almost at the 1/3 mark, and we've got no cautions, no sign of a caution, and all the cars are playing well. As just out of the corner of my eye, I noticed Gary Wellman is going backwards really quickly. He's coming to the pit lane, so his car is not going straight. You can see him struggling to pull this thing in the pit lane at the moment. That damage down the right-hand side, you can see it. It's more severe than I first thought, unless he's clipped it again.
He's taken another hit in turn 1. He's just run up wide, similar to Luke Trahare's incident. The back end stepped out on him, and he's tried to catch it, and he's just gone up, and there's not much more he could do. He couldn't really crank the steering on anymore, and he's taken a big hit to the right front of that car, and then he took a second hit in turn number 2 as well. So I think that might be done at least for racing for good positions. He might be able to pick up a few spots as the race goes on. But meanwhile, up in 2nd place at the moment, Dyson is really having to hustle because he's got Gallagher all over his tail, and then his teammate Neil Pearson all over Gallagher's tail. Pearson is a driver that runs well here at Indianapolis as well, so expect to see him trying to get up there too. He's going to want to try and get up there and fight with Mr. Jason Martin, the Indianapolis specialist, as Pearson makes a move on Gallagher right now. You can see he gets a nice run there. Dyson sitting up high and keeping Gallagher just up on that high line. It allowed Pearson to make the move on the low line there. Very nice little move done, and up goes 2 GPR cards into the top 3 now.
As Jason Martin puts almost 2 seconds on these guys at the moment, this is a huge lead. This stage of the race, as Dyson, you see, gets right up close to that wall, get that little bit of advantage as he goes in, makes the corner as straight as he can, and comes out the other side. Him and Pearson will now work together and hopefully try and close this gap down. Though 2 seconds it now officially is. Hamish will be happy to go with him and just see how his tyres hold up towards the end. As you see the background there, Luke Trahere all up on the back of Kobe Jordan again, and they are even going wide down the straight, trying to stay out of slipstream. These guys are battling it out for 8th, 9th, and 10th. 11th is in there as well. Luke Trahere is looking good tonight. As you see, that's Tom Neal in the background getting a little bit sideways out of that corner as well. But these guys putting on a good show in the mid-pack. Luke Trahere is doing a great job, up 5 positions now. And the only person that's close to him, oh, we've got 2. We've got Reuben Phelps.
Oh, we've run into them.
Yep. Luke
We've got
Georgeson.
no caution out at the moment, but who was that? That was the Luke Georgeson there.
That's somehow stayed out of a caution. But let's have a quick look at it. Keep an eye on anything that goes wrong from here on out as we go from the chopper cam. He's right over top of Luke. You can see him a little bit wobbly there, a little bit wobbly again. Does Reuben get a little bit of play in on this? Reuben gets down the inside and just clips him. And that's the end of him. At pace, into the wall. I assume in infield, it doesn't matter. Wasn't close enough to any cars. But Reuben may have some questions to answer for that later on in the race.
Yeah, but that was one of those that's going to be probably looked at some stage, or asked to be looked at, I'd say. It's a tricky one because it's sort of at those speeds, you've got to really be careful and patient because it is very easy to turn the car in front of you if you just tap that rear end. Neil Pearson up to second now, and he's trying to chase down Jason Martin. I think Pearson's been looking after his tyres a little bit more, and he's got a little bit more left in them. We did say watch out for those drivers that can look after their tyres tonight. And one of them is, of course, Luke Trahere. He tends to do well on the old tyre saving, and he could be one of those drivers that's in for a good night tonight, but he's just got to keep that car out of trouble, and doing that in the pack is not as easily done.
No, and the one thing to notice right now is Neil Pearson actually has the fastest lap of that last lap. So he's the first time that Jason Martin hasn't been the quickest on the track. But I suspect by looking at the differentials now, oh no, he's catching him still. So Neil is slowly eating into Jason Martin's lead. Is it enough? Probably not right now. But it is interesting that it's happening. And if we do get a caution, or once pit stops start happening, it'll come down to strategy, which will decide this hopefully by the end of the race.
Yeah, look, that is it. At the current rate, he will catch him. It's just going to be just take a while. It's just
we're talking 4/100th of a second last lap.
Yeah, it's one of those things. But remember, pit stops, things like that. So if Jason has a slightly slower pit stop, if he loses a second in pit lane, that could easily close the gap, and that puts him into the range where he could start picking up a draft, things like that. So there are all these little aspects in there. Of course, 150 miles here tonight at Indianapolis, so a long old race indeed, and that can really make things it makes things tricky sometimes.
As we are at the 20th lap mark, we are 1/3 of the way through this race. We can see here you got a couple packs here battling it out. Micklemore's on the back of Jaden Russell. Hamish Gallagher's going to make this move. He's pushing down the inside of Dyson, and if we go to that, he's going to get in front, and he makes it stick. Dyson's going to sit in behind. Will he have anything to come back at him with? I don't think so. I assume Dyson is probably pushing the end of his tyre life, or Hamish has just looked after his a little bit better. You can see there he's already opened the gap up as we get out of turn 2. And head down the back straight right now.
Well, we saw Dyson build up a really nice lead in the early stages of the race, and I wonder if he put his tyres a little bit too quick. And next stint he'll learn from that. He won't put quite as much speed in the early stages. He'll wait till the latter stages to start getting the pace in there. That's the good thing about, I guess, making that mistake in the opening laps of the race rather in the latter stages of the race. But he's definitely struggling at the moment for pace. He's a good almost 5-6 tenths off that of his teammate Neil Pearson at the moment. So he is losing quite a bit of time at the moment. Neil Pearson's still setting the fastest laps of anybody out there. So he's absolutely going for it. Meanwhile, Micklemore making a move on Jaden Russell right now as he tries to go down the inside here, side by side through the corner.
Jones in the
Russell.
background, very sideways out of that corner. Sorry. But
Yeah,
Mick,
Jones just losing that rear end a little bit. He's trying to hold on there as well. And I wonder if Ryan's just put a little bit more heat in the rear tyres and he's just struggling a little bit at this stage as well.
I was just about to make the comment. There's only about 4 cars out there in the 54-second laps at the moment. Ryan Jones is one of them, or he was before this lap. He had some of the best tyres out there, or he was doing the best times anyway. So it seemed to be that he may have just looked after his tyres a bit better than everyone else, but then he comes out sideways at the back of Micklemore as he puts it down the inside of Jaden Russell. But he is closing that gap on Jaden Russell now, Jones does. So it's maybe it was just a silly mistake as he gets up high to the wall there, which is good. He's still confident enough in doing that, so he's definitely got some grip there. But yeah, he is definitely still closing that gap down. He's currently in the 55s. We've only got the top 4 actually all still in the 54s, so Dyson's bounced back with his lap times. I'm oversaying stuff, predicting stuff about Dyson.
I reckon
he proves me wrong every time.
I reckon drivers are just having some cool down laps, just going a little bit easier for a few laps to let the tyres cool, and then going back on the attack a little bit. I wonder if it's more of a heat related than a degradation related issue. Track temperature is 33 degrees Celsius tonight, so it is quite warm out there. I say tonight, since daytime, of course. It is quite warm out there, and that means that the tyres are going to have quite a bit of heat through them, so that can really cause a bit of an issue. A driver that's starting to struggle now is actually Luke Trahere. He's got passed by Kobe Jordan. Kobe's sort of running out a bit of a lead now, and Trahare's starting to drop down the pack a little bit as well. Just watching cars, as I said, it seems like if they push a bit too hard for a few laps, the rear just starts stepping away, and I wonder if they're just getting a bit too much heat in those rear tyres, and then just having to ease off for a few laps to let them cool down a little bit. We have had our first pit stop as well. It looks like an intentional pit stop too from Matt Hunter. I'm just going back to a bit of a look at that one. But from the time,
it 15.2. He's changed tyres, put fuel in.
Yeah, it just looks like an intentional stop for Matt. So
he's a 2-stop strategy right now. That's what he's looking at. I think the others are trying to go out to a 3-stop strategy. Or is he just going to go super long on his second set?
Well, he could try and go longer on the second stint.
Lap 23, that leaves him 37 in the second stint.
It depends on fuel. That's going to be the big thing. I don't know the fuel numbers tonight. So I reckon from the lap that he came in, I reckon Matt's just going to split it into a 2-stop race. He's just going to go pure 2-stop. He's going for a slightly earlier stop, trying to get a little bit of an undercut on people if they follow along. Most of the other drivers will try for a single stop if they can, and they should be able to do that, of course. But the longer you stay out there on a single set of tyres, the more risk there is, and the tyres will start dropping off a little bit. They will start losing some of their performance, and there is a bit more risk of having an accident as well.
Yeah, because there's Matty Hunter's putting himself in a position where he was going to chase down these guys here. However, he's a lap down, so he'll get the lucky dog if we do have a caution, but B, he's got to try and he's just got to hope that that's 48.6 seconds on the from start to finish on the pit lane. So it's a 54-second lap. So yeah, it's pretty much everyone's going to come back to him at some stage, but he's just not doing the times I want to see him doing with a fresh set of rubber on right now.
Yeah, he needs to clear this pack. He needs to clear this pack and get through them. He could be just trying to save it a little bit and just coasting and getting the car so he can make it to the end. He might be just coming in for an early stop rather than coming in later. So he could be looking at trying to do a interesting strategy. Meanwhile, Norman Clark is getting passed by Michael Skurlock. Michael Skurlock making a move on the 09 right now. Skurley working his way through the field. Lurking his way up the field, up 8 spots at the moment. The biggest gainer of everybody. So he's having a fairly good run as he gets up behind Stevie Dub now. He's going to be really trying to put the pressure on Stevie Dub in the 98. Of course, these three drivers have got a lot of races underneath their belts in the ANZCAR series. It's well over 1,000 races between all three drivers.
As he gets
So it's
very sideways out of that corner. It's almost a Skurlock special at the moment to have this car facing any direction but straight. But going out of 3 there, he was very sideways. But he gets it done, gets past Stevie Dub, pushes his way into the top 10, up 9 positions from the start of the race. Now has Luke Trahair, the other person who's moved a lot of positions in this race, in front of him. But Luke Trahair's doing a great job. Right back, he's been on the back of Kobe Jordan for a while, though. These two have been nose to tail for a while. So I don't know, maybe Luke's conserving tyres behind him now as Kobe just vanishes and comes back again.
Well, I think actually Luke's decided to just sit behind Kobe because of that front end damage. If Kobe blinks like that, though, he's probably going to want to try and get past him. But because of that damage on the front of Luke's car, that's going to affect the drag a little bit. That's going to hurt his aero. That's going to make him use a bit more fuel as Kobe Jordan comes into pit lane. But that's going to be... It's the thing of he's going to be wanting to sit behind another car just to help him out. So that's going to be a big thing.
Whoa, he locks it up. There he goes. He's in.
Big lock up.
There's car behind him. Matty Raymond or Noddy?
Nathan Rollock.
Oh, the other one. There we go, coming in as well.
So 32 laps to go, 29 laps in. This is the sort of time where, if you've got... I think everybody can make it to the end on fuel from here. So they're coming into pit lane now to get that stop done. And they're going to see if they can get a little bit of an undercut on some people.
Well, Matty Hunter's times are still 55.9s at the moment. So he's well off his pace, which is interesting. So I don't know whether he didn't put tyres on accidentally or something.
No, he put tyres on. Okay. He did put tyres on. He's off his pace. His optimal pace was a 54.3.
Yeah.
And he's sort of caught up behind Tristan Koch at the moment, and I think that's affecting the race as Luke Trahair comes in. So we've got cars coming in now for their pit stops. So who is going to be the first of the front runners to come in to pit lane? Who is going to try the undercut? Who is going to see if the overcut works? By the looks of it, the fresh tyres are not paying off too much at the moment, so maybe staying out there a little bit longer could be a better option.
Well, Jason Martin's still doing 54.9s. Like, they're still quick laps. Hamish Gallagher, 54.9s. They're still doing quick times. I would go to the end of the fuel tank, get that little bit extra out of the lighter car, and just try and get as close as you can as the end, and out you go. Luke Trahair goes down a lap as he comes out. Of the cars that have stopped, currently Luke Trahair is the leading car. So that's the battle pack to really be watching. He kind of come out ahead of Kobe Jordan, because I feel that's the most important part of this thing, because they were nose to tail when they went in.
He is going to come out ahead, but he's got to get up to speed, and that is the tricky part. He's going to want to try and get up to speed quickly.
He's made a significant amount of room on Kobe Jordan. Now, I know Kobe locked it up coming in.
Kobe was a lot longer through pit lane, so Kobe Jordan took 47 seconds, while as Luke Trahair 45.9. So
Raymond on the block. Now,
so Luke made up all that time in pit lane.
Yep. Yeah, they're pretty much identical on the thing. So Luke Trahair is currently leading the race of the cars that have stopped as we watch Matty Raymond go out, but Jason Martin is leading this race, and I don't think there's anything that can really stop him at the moment as far as pace goes from other cars. It's going to be a mistake that's going to cost him, or a caution that's going to make this all come back. What's your read on his position at the moment? You said he was the fastest one out there, and he's proving it.
Yeah, look, Jason loves this track. He's very good at Indy. That's one of his strongest tracks, and if Jason's not performing at Indianapolis, you know that he is either not getting along with the car or he's having a very bad day. So it's obviously a normal day for Jason Martin in the office. Neil Pearson as well. He is very good on this track, and he is currently sitting 9 seconds down, so he's lost a bit of time, and he's going to have Kobe Jordan even getting past him now to unlap himself, and you can see now the fresh tyres are starting to pay off. Jaden Russell's decided to come in, so he is the first of the front runners to pull the pin. Michael Skurlock joining him.
So just quickly, that I just wanted to watch Luke Traherne as he went around. 54.0 is his first lap, so he's currently taking a second off Jason Martin every time they're out there. Now he's got a long way between him and Jason Martin, obviously, when they did pit in the first place, but that gives you an idea of those cars that are coming in. Like Kobe Jordan's only doing 54.5s at the moment. The rest of the cars haven't had enough data time. Really, they're still on their fresh out laps at the moment. But we've got Jaden Russell.
Jason Martin coming into pit lane.
Had to, really. There is enough, and there we go. That's CV Dub behind. As Dyson.
That was that Dyson or was that Pearson?
No, that was Dyson got caught up with.
He got caught with Reuben Phelps. Dyson made a late call to come to pit lane. Reuben Phelps was sitting there, so he had to get on the brakes and really get that car slowed down. But he got in front of Pearson doing that.
I'm gonna have a look at this on the replay quickly. You keep an eye on anything that's going on out there. Everyone's coming in. You can see here, Reuben dives down the inside. Dyson's got nowhere to go. Wants to come in and locks it up. I reckon he's got a speeding penalty. He has collected also Neil Pearson there. It looked Nat Cody, but there definitely was a touch rear left, front right. So let's have a look live. How long Dyson's leaving pit lane.
Yeah, Dyson.
No pit lane. He pulled that up in time somehow. What a miracle that was.
Unless he gets a drive through.
No, you would get
it would be a stop penalty, wouldn't it? Be a hold go.
Stop and hold. Yep.
Yeah. Hamish Gallagher coming in from the lead right now, so he's coming in. Will Brad Fenley make it another lap on fuel? I don't think so. He's going to have to come in as well, so he does not get that bonus point for leading a lap. Brad Fenley coming in. Next up across is Nigel Patton, I believe, in the order of things, but he'll be coming in as well. And Noddy Tompkins as well. So that's everybody in pit lane now.
So Luke Traherne,
Martin will be taking back the lead.
Luke Traherne, I'm trying to work it out here. What happened to... Well, actually, Neil Pearson has been a big loser. That 57 seconds to negotiate pit lane.
I reckon that was damage.
A little bit of damage, yes. But even then...
He was 20 seconds stationary, so...
Yeah, but that's only 4 seconds longer than normal. And he's about... Where did I see this up here? He's about 10 seconds front to back. Slower than everyone else going through pit lane. He's lost 10 seconds in his pit stop, and only 4 of it was on pit lane. So I think he's had to slow down a lot more than we give him credit for to let Dyson get in front of him and not cause damage there. So
there's been, so I think it might be an iRacing thing there, or he's had to get some repairs done, but it has cost him dearly. And that has really hurt his race out. So it's going to be interesting to see how he comes out, because he's behind Ryan Jones now. We saw Ryan Jones in...
I thought he was up to 7th or 8th, but he's definitely lost a spot to Luke Traherne.
Yeah, so currently Neil Pearson's in 9th position. He has got some speed in there though. He just set the fastest lap of the race that time round though. So Pearson, I think, has got the red mist descending. He wants to try and get back those positions, but it's going to be tricky to do from that spot because he's got a lot of fast cars in front of him. Just looking through. Big gainers at the moment. Luke Traherne, obviously big gainer, 8 positions gained. He got in front of Kobe Jordan with that pit stop as Ryan Jones makes the move on Kobe there. And Ryan Jones
be able to get back to top 5, which is where he really needs to be for this championship.
Well, I think Ryan's also seen that Neil is closing in on him, and Pearson is setting some very fast times.
As Kobe vanishes in front of Neil Pearson again. He has got some speed in this car and something to prove after that shocking pit stop. And I don't think it definitely wasn't all his fault. But he's definitely coming back with a vengeance right now. 52.9, the only car tonight to go sub 53. and he is going to make short work of this. Let's go from the chopper and let's watch him dive down the inside as Ryan Jones doesn't want to let him, because Ryan Jones wants to make this move on Luke Traher. He wants this position first, and Neil's just going to come through with him, I think.
Remember, Luke Traher stopped about 7 laps ago, almost 8 laps ago now, so he has got some much older tyres at the moment, and that's now hurting him. He was trying for that slight undercut, and you can see the difference, that little bit of difference those tyres, and also the damage on the front of Luke's car is making. So he's going to want to try and hook onto the back of Pearson, try and keep up to this group if he can, but I don't know if he's got the speed to do it at the moment, which is a shame for Luke, because he had some good pace in that car earlier on, but that little bit of damage is really costing him right now.
Oh, Kobe's into the wall behind. That's going to hurt him big time, but he took a large chunk of that wall as Jones's car still doesn't look comfortable as he comes down. I think Neil's going to get a run on him here with that bad exit that he had. Got the draft, and he should be able to dive down the inside here into turn 3. No, doesn't quite take it yet. But
I would say probably a good idea for Jones at the moment would be to try and sort of sit right on the back of Pearson and just get brought along with him. But with Pearson's pace at the moment, he might not be able to do it. So I think Jones is going to battle and defend as hard as he humanly can. And it is Ryan Jones we're talking about. He will absolutely defend that position. He will go to for now, and that's one of the things we love seeing about Jones is the fact that he will absolutely push for a race, and he will go hard for those positions, and as well as defend as well. So he's going to be trying his best to hold that spot, and it's a championship rival as well. You know, Pearson, he's one of those drivers that you want to beat as well. He's a quick driver. He's got many wins in the series, and if you can get a win over Pearson, it would be good. But Pearson makes the lunge down the inside and gets that move.
Well done, Neil Pearson. And he'll make that stick. Ryan won't be able to come back from there. Just quickly, I want to go back up to the front because Jason Martin and Andrew Dyson's chipping away ever so slightly every lap. This one was only 2/100ths of a second, but it was almost half a second a while ago. But the gap's 1.6, 1.7 by my timing board now, as it makes a liar out of me. But there's a race here with 20 to go. As you can see up front, traffic may come into this, but Dyson's got enough pace to be able to track him down. Hamish behind is roughly going around the same pace as well, which isn't going to be what he needs to bridge the 4 seconds between him and Martin, but he is holding pace with the guys in front. So the only other real battles on this track is we see it is spread out as I've ever seen an ANZCAR Thunder race in my life. The real battle here is Norman Clark, Tom Neal, and Stevie Dub are all battling it out for 13th, 14th, and 15th. The group in front's pretty close with Skurlock trying to get a little spot up there on Phelps as well. That's the other pack as we see Norman Clark putting his nose down the inside, but not quite close enough to make it happen. And Tom Neal's on the back here. He wants to take advantage of this as well, but Skurlock is definitely putting a gap on Luke Traher as Luke Traher goes backwards quickly in this field after he does that early pit stop, which does not help. Here we go. Norman Clark, can he make it stick this time? Goes really deep. Forces Stevie Dub to go wide, but he's not close enough. He's still probably half a car length on what he needs to be. You reckon, Carl?
Watch the exit here. He's just braked a little bit earlier. He's going to try and get a better run out the corner. Stevie Dub's got some front end damage, and that is going to affect his top end speed. So what Norman Clark's going to hope to do is get down the inside of him, down this front straight here. He is going to do it. He gets down. He's getting a good run, and he gets down the inside. Norman Clark in the 09 gets a nice run on the inside of turn number 1. That forces Stevie Dub up high, and Stevie Dub's rear end's just getting a little bit loose on him. They both get a little bit of a wiggle through the corner, but Norman Clark has got a slightly more preferred line at the moment. Stevie Dub's rear end steps out. He almost goes into Clark. He gets up into the wall. He manages to not go into Clark, but he goes into the wall. Good avoidance from Tom Neal there in the After Dark car. He could see that one coming, and he gave them both a wide berth so they could avoid an accident there. Good situational awareness from all 3 drivers there because they saw an accident coming and they all managed to avoid it. Stevie Dub coming out the worst of that, unfortunately, as the front end just gave up all its grip and he just ran up into that wall. But very good driving from all three of those drivers there.
I want to go forward. Michael Skurlock makes it happen on Reuben Phelps and makes another spot, gets himself up 11 spots from the start of the race. Tom Neal, I just missed it, but he's just got down the inside of Norman Clark and he's on his way to take down Kobe Jordan. And with Matty Raymond not far in front, Micklemore is making his way through the field though now. He's not happy with the position he is. He's taken Jaden Russell now, but has a 4-second gap. Jaden Russell's actually going a lot slower this lap. Something's happened. What's happened to Jaden Russell?
I'll have a bit of a look at that one.
I can't see any damage, but he's definitely, his lap time's almost a second down on where it should be right now. He could just be, he's got a bad exit somewhere. No, there's no damage on the car. That's all good. Josh Micklemore, sorry. As you can see from his car, he's got a long way ahead to get to the podium. But he's put himself in a position where if anything happens, he's right there ready to take it. Remember, we haven't had a caution yet. We've got 16 to go. We're going to have an early night, which is good.
Yeah, absolutely. It just looks like Jay Russell's just lost a little bit of pace, unfortunately. So he's just lost a little bit of pace. He's struggling a little bit with that car, just unable to keep it up to speed at the moment. So he's just struggling a little bit.
As we go back to the front, Jason Martin is getting a tow from some lapped traffic here, which is helping him get out to a 2.1 second lead. It's 4 seconds then total back to Hamish Gallagher. So Hamish is holding his own. It's just Dyson. Dyson's pretty much, he's lost about 6/10 on what he was, about 4/10, 6/10, yes, 6/10, and just doesn't seem to have the pace at the moment. So like I said, with the lap traffic, he can use that to his advantage, but he's running out of time with 15 laps to go to make anything happen. Looking through the field, there's Stevie Dub, who's probably just about to get Kobe Jordan. Other than that, there's a little battle of Matty Raymond, Tom Neal, and that driver who pitted early, Luke Trahere. They're all coming up. Pack's coming up on him next. So he might be about to lose a few more spots all in one big hit, which is unfortunate. Brad Fenley making the move right now on Nathan Rawlock, who I saw getting very sideways out the back when we had that crash happen before. His car's not doing what he wants it to do right now. As Brad makes it move, Stevie Dub gets Kobe Jordan. As he comes down the straight, he's going to make this one stick, move in front of him, and that will be the end of that one. Matty Raymond has Tom Neal all over the back of him, as Tom Neal's really taken advantage of that little accident between Clark and Stevie Dub and putting move on to get a gap on those guys behind him and get on the back of Matty Raymond. Can he make it stick, and can he get 2 for 1 here, getting Luke Trahere at the same time? No, Matty's going to get Luke first, and then John will come up behind him. What do you do if you're Jason Martin here? You just sit back and relax and enjoy, Carl? I know you're always in the position where you're leading a race by 2 seconds with a few laps to go, or you push some traffic out of your way as you get up to them, or you just make it happen?
It's been a little bit of time since I've been in that position, but look, in that position, you got to keep on it. You don't want to lose focus. That's one of the big things, is if you lose focus, especially with Dyson just 2 seconds behind you, you can't afford to lose time. Coming up to lapped traffic now as well, and that's going to start hurting Martin's lead a little bit. Of course, lapped cars don't have an obligation to get out of your way. I'm sure they will play nice though, and make it relatively easy. But it is going to start affecting him a little bit. And it also causes you to second guess a little bit too, because you start having that little thought process in your head of just watching out for the car in front of you, just worrying that they might have a accident or something like that. So it's all about just keeping your head. And Jason Martin's one of those drivers that's been in that position a fair few times, and he's able to keep his head cool. As Nigel Patton's coming, it looks like he might be retiring the car.
Okay, I wonder what's happened there. I didn't catch anything. I just saw him going slow on the timing monitor, and That's where he was. Yeah, look, focus is the main thing. We'll watch on Jason Martin for a bit. He's led the race almost from the start, so we probably should give him a little bit of track time, I guess. Coverage time. But he's done it so well as he comes up on the back of the Camaro of Noddy Tompkins, who has a not very straight rear end. But you can see there behind, like Dyson and Hamish are still in their mirror. Like they're close enough that he's got to be keeping his mind on. You don't want to do anything silly, especially as you said, coming through lapped traffic or heating up the tires accidentally or something like that. But we'll go and we'll just keep an eye on him as he goes around. Give him the coverage he deserves because he's had a really spectacular race tonight. I hate to say it, Carl, but you were right so far.
Yeah, it seems like I still know stuff. Who would have thunk it?
Not many people apparently.
No, nobody should have trust in me. Meanwhile, Norman Clark's making a good move on Luke Traher at the moment. Norman Clark getting a really nice run there and moving up to P12. Norman Clark working his way through the field, working his back up to positions. He lost a few on the start, unfortunately. The number 9 started in 9th place, but has dropped a few positions at the moment. So he's going to want to try and work his way up there. I think Luke's starting to struggle on those tyres a little bit now. He's quite a few number of laps into that run now. He's almost 20 laps in on the run, so it's getting to that stage where the tyres start to drop off that little bit too. We saw there's not a huge drop off here.
What's happened here?
Oh, Michael Scott in pit lane. I think he may have towed it. Oh no, he's had a big moment. So Skirley has lost it going through the corner. And then he's just gone into pit lane. So I wonder if he's had a technical failure there. So kind of technical failure for Skurlock because he just turned it straight into pit lane and just got it in there and parked it right up and jumped straight out because could have been a maybe a VR issue or something like that.
He hasn't even gone to his pit box, has he? No.
No. So I reckon that might have been a technical failure there.
Maybe Dinner had
we got a caution. We got a caution. We got a big caution.
Wow.
Big accident on the pit straight.
Jaden Russell's going extremely slow.
Jaden Russell and Neil Pearson. So Neil Pearson just made a move on Jaden Russell and just caught the back of Jaden Russell's car, unsettled it. And around he goes, and a big whack on the front of Jay Russell's car.
That's the end of
and that is the end of that one.
He'll have to park that one up big time.
Big shame for Jaden Russell there. That's going to be painful for him. And that means everybody can come in and get some fresh tyres. And I think that might be Neil Pearson as well coming in, retiring that car as well.
Yeah, that might be a self penalty.
Yeah, we know Neil can be very hard on himself when something like that happens.
Because he hasn't got the damage. There's no damage there for him to come in and park it like he has, and there's no reason for him to park it. That's not even in his pit bay. He's just got out. So whether he's had a technical difficulty as well, you never know because he just parked that in a weird spot. But yeah, let's just go with that. Unfortunately, both of them are now out of the race, along with Skurlock. But we have a sprint to the end, Carl. Who's got the tyres? Who's going to come in? Who's going to take track position? What do you do? What do we do? I don't know what to do.
Oh, it's going to be a fun race to the end. I mean, honestly, you're going to have to come in and take tyres, I think.
Well, there's such a differential, isn't it? They were doing 55s before. You can do 53s. There's 2 seconds a lap. Even if you go back, at the moment, maximum 10 positions, you got to get tyres.
Somebody might risk track position, but I think we're going to see everybody coming in for tyres. Interestingly, just looking through the field a little bit at anybody that came in recently, and there's nobody on a good lap that has come in recently.
They'd all be at least a lap down right now anyway.
This will help Noddy Tompkins get his lap back, though, so that is something. So he will get his lap back. And
everyone's coming in.
Everybody in the top group has come into pit lane, unsurprisingly. Look, honestly, it's the best choice to make.
Matty Hunter, the man who did pit a little bit earlier, but he's 5 laps down, so that doesn't help him. Brad Fenley as well is got the damage to that car?
Brad
No,
Fenley,
that's not Brad Fenley. That's Wesley. Yeah, Wesley had some
yeah,
damage from the start.
yeah, Wesley
Sorry,
Pipes.
wrong green car. Who's going to take 2 tyres? Who's going to take 4 tyres? Jason Martin's
I
off.
think
Dyson's off. Dyson's won.
Dyson has just got it out of pit line.
1.3 seconds over the length of the pit box, quicker than Jason Martin. He will take the lead of this race.
And that's Dyson just being a little bit more confident on the limiter. He is, he could have taken a penalty there. I reckon he would have been exactly on the speed limit in pit lane. He would have been dead on there and really, really pushing it. Very close to getting a penalty there, but he is very good at doing that. That's one thing that Dyson is extremely good at pitting. He's just taking it to that limit in pit lane.
But he's got a 45.1 second pit lane from start to finish. There is no one else in the 45s.
No,
Everyone's
that's it.
46
He is literally
and most are in
taking
the
a gamble.
47s. Like he's got it, yeah. Down to speed perfectly, up to speed perfectly, and here we go. So that's Matty Hunter. And I assume that's Nigel Pat.
Yep, that would be Nigel Patton.
So those two are laps down, so they're going to get pushed by in a sec. They'll get a lap back as Jason Martin is faking it. He's trying to get someone to go in for a second pit stop for some unknown reason. I thought he might have got a penalty, but that doesn't make any sense because he would have had to serve it in the pit box.
Yeah, he's just playing with people, just seeing if anybody got suckered out. But no, I don't think anybody's going to get suckered out on that one.
No one took 2 tyres, so no one went for track position to try and keep some 2 old tyres on the track. Actually,
no, not that I can see.
Benley, 10.8 seconds on the box. That's not 4 tyres.
That's 2 tyres. Yeah, so Benley was the only driver. I did see him missing his block though, so it might be an issue with the.
Because the interesting thing is...
No, he did just take 2 tyres, sorry. Yeah, so, no, he didn't miss his box, sorry. It was somebody else I was looking at.
But pit lane start to pit lane end was still 47 seconds, even though he was 5 seconds quicker in his pit box than everyone else. So he's just not had a good pit stop and lost all the advantage that he would have gained by doing it. So,
and he sort of put himself at a slight disadvantage on the restart as well with 6 laps to go.
Look, it's a good strategy call. Maybe could have paid off, but yeah, he's just with a bad pit stop all around, and it just hasn't. It's made the pain not as bad as what it would have been. As these guys get ready to go, I don't know what's going to happen anymore, Carl. We had just a mundane, normal, everyday race happening, and then all of a sudden, just a little bit of an issue with Pearson and Russell. Unfortunately, it's meant the end for both of them, has brought this race alive. You can see Ryan Jones is in there, Hamish Gallagher's in there, Josh Micklemore's in there, Reuben Phelps has got a great chance as well. All these guys have got speed. They showed they had speed. As the pace car pulls away, we are going to get racing here with 5 laps to go. And that was like Matty Hunter. No, we're going to have a caution here again. Matty Hunter has got speed into the wall in the background there. We are green, though. We are green.
Yeah, we are green. I think because there was no cars behind him, it's effectively because of the way I racing anyone up. Yep. Yes. So he got caught by Nigel Patton, I think, just coming around the final corner. Patton's just taken a bit too much speed around there as they come round to check up. And Patton's gone into the back of Matty Hunter and turned him, unfortunately, and that is the end of Matty Hunter's race. But meanwhile, Dyson is in the lead of the race.
Ryan Jones here coming down the inside of Hamish. Can he make it stick? I think he can. He's going to get alongside. He's going for the podium after being sitting about 7th all night. He's had an absolutely gun pit stop and is showing some pace here right at the end, pushing up towards the podium as he's back on the back of Josh Micklemore. Dyson has got a lead, but Jason Martin's closed that gap really quickly. Jason Martin has got speed. He's had speed all night. It'll be interesting to see whether he can convert this to a win with 5 to go. Josh Micklemore has let that gap slip. Now they're 0.6 of a second back. As we watch this gap at the battle at the front from Josh Micklemore's car. Lots of things happening behind here, but This is the podium. This is the race we've got on. Josh.
This is the race win. It's a very close battle between Dyson and Martin at the moment, and those two are really going to be pushing. Ryan Jones has made a move on Hamish Gallagher, importantly for championship positions. So Ryan Jones getting a good move up the field, and he's got past Hamish Gallagher. But importantly, Josh Micklemore is leading the championship battle at the moment. Josh Micklemore in third.
Let's have a look on board with Jason Martin as he's going to try and make this move stick here into...
Feints the move there. He just feigned the move there, just trying to make Dyson get a little bit nervous on the corner. Just trying to get him offline.
Put some sparks into Jason Martin there because he clips the wall on exit of 1. Not going to slow him down enough, but Martin going to get a run on him here. No, doesn't quite get it happening. He'll have to put it on the front straight unless he can dive deep under brakes, but that's going to ask for trouble. Let's see who can get the better. You got the mid-corner speed of Martin. It's there. He's all over the back of him, making Dyson's car wibble all around with 4 to go. We know Dyson's not going to make this easy. He's going to make this his car as wide as he can as he goes very close to that wall again. I suspect he's probably touched it just again. Martin's coming up, though, as we go down the main straight for one of the very few times we've got left. Dyson's everywhere. Martin's got no clean spot. This is close racing, and what's this going to do?
And watch Martin here. He's going to get a really good run out the corner. He's going to get the side draft into the corner. Martin side by side at the moment with Dyson. Dyson's rear end just steps out a little bit. He gets slightly tail happy there. It's going to cost him exit speed. They're going to drag race down to turns number 3 and 4. And Martin's got the inside line at the moment. That could push Dyson up high and wide, and that could give an advantage to Martin's teammate of Josh Micklemore at the moment. Martin makes the move, gets past Dyson. Dyson just falling back a little bit. And now, if Josh Micklemore can get on the attack of Andrew Dyson, that will make Jason Martin a very happy boy indeed.
Yes, I think Micklemore's right in this. Jason Martin trying to do everything he can to get Dyson out of his slipstream. As we see the whole field that's left, nice nose and tail all the way down. Micklemore is now closer to Dyson than Dyson is to Martin. Dyson's biggest problem is in his rear vision mirror now as he keeps on going up high. Very high on exit.
That was a big hit to the wall that time round. That was a much heavier hit that time on Dyson's car. He will have dropped off a little bit of paint, so that might help him with overall speed. But that's the only thing at the moment.
Course in weight reduction, kids. Take the paint off your car.
Yeah, absolutely. If F1 knows anything, it's how to remove paint off the cars to make them go faster. But Dyson is doing a great job of doing it. The white flag will be coming out very shortly for Jason Martin. Will Micklemore be able to get past Dyson? Jason Martin, meanwhile, has run off at the front. He has got a great lead at the moment. The white flag flies as Jason Martin leads here for the Locked On iRacing charity spectacular coming up soon. Of course, Indy 150 here for the ANZCAR Thunder
series.
Look
at Hamish Gallagher in the background. He's got Ryan Jones in his sights. He's not going to let these point. This is a multiple point turnaround. If he can get in front of him, that could make the difference at the end of the season. He's got it lined up. He can see those Skittles. He wants to eat them up and get down the inside and put Tay-Tay a little bit further up the grid. But Ryan Jones is not going to make that easy, as we alluded to before. He's here to make the biggest splash in the race as he can, with multiple corners, not many corners to go, sorry. He should be able to hold on here as we go forward to Jason Martin, who has this race won. He comes down. He will take it over Andrew Dyson, Josh Micklemore, Ryan Jones, Hamish Gallagher, Reuben Phelps, Matthew Raymond, Tom Neal, Norman Clark, and Brad Fenley with your top 10 cars across the finish line. Carl, what a race as Dyson does his signature sideways drift, but not to celebrate the win.
Jason's trying his best to do a bit of drifting as well. He's trying to get that back end stepping out, but we know Dyson is the master of drifting the car around. What a great race there. What a great final finish. That sprint to the end. Jason absolutely did a great job of keeping that car fast through the race, and he absolutely did a great job of getting that victory there. That was a fantastic job from Jason Martin. As I say, Indianapolis King. And good result as well for Josh Micklemore as well. That's really, really going to help him out championship-wise.
Just watched Stevie Dub in the background putting it very wide around the final quarter and then just going straight to the wall down the bottom. Here we go to celebrate time. Jason Martin somehow missed the voodoo of Carl Wilkinson Withy and decided to win the race as he puts on some donuts.
It's not an easy place to do a donut, actually, because it's quite a narrow little section here at Indy. As you can see, the walls are quite close together in the Xfinity car, so not the easiest place to donut, but he's doing it right in front of the yard of bricks, of course, the beautiful yard of bricks, and he blows the engine in style. Jason Martin taking the win.
Okay, so I need to find where OBS is. Where are you, OBS? OBS, come to me. Let's put the charity thing up so I can do some stuff in the background. That is what we were talking about before. That is what's happening over the coming week and a bit. So get excited, people. It's all going to happen as we go to ANZCAR Discord, and let's just randomly bring up Ryan Jones for a quick chat. Welcome to the booth, Ryan Jones. How are you tonight?
Oh, P4 and an interview. How good.
Yeah, we're just waiting for other people. So look, we thought we'd bring you along. How was tonight for you from your point of view?
Probably one of my slowest races in terms of outright pace. I didn't really have anything for those boys up front, and I got a bit lucky at the end there, but I'll take it.
What was the secret to that final pit stop? Because you seem to make up so much time on that.
The last pit stop, I think I came in fifth and went out fifth.
Oh, well, that's how close I was paying attention to it. I thought you did way better than that because I saw you were seventh or something all night, and all of a sudden you're battling for a podium almost.
Fifth and sixth crash to bring out the caution. I said, how do you do?
Too. That's what
Don't mind if I do.
There was so much going on tonight. Anyway, you beat Hamish home. How much did that mean for you for the championship?
That 1 point.
Yeah.
It means 1 point. It's good to beat him because he's beat me for I think 4 weeks in a row now. It was important to get a good result tonight because I've only done 8 races, 7 from the first 9 count. So I was going to end up with 1 race counting that was only like 20 points. So I had to finish well tonight, get like a 40-point haul, and knock that one out of the way. So should be up there, but still about 20 points back, I reckon, which is going to be tough in 2 races.
You can do it, mate. You can do it. What's on the plan for Ryan Jones? We haven't heard from Ryan Jones in a little bit. What do you got planned, mate? What's happening in your life?
Oh, just hoping I can be home for a couple cup races again. Think I can race this week, and then I'm off to the Bend, and then.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, look, congratulations, mate, on a well done 4th. I must admit, it was very good effort. You don't normally get an interview for 4th, but we thought we would get you up there. We got people who got the podium, so we better get you out. We better get them in. So thank you very much for your time.
Go interview the important people. Cheers, boys.
Mate. Have a good one. And 3rd tonight was Josh Micklemore. Yeah, yes, cool. Let's bring Josh in for a congratulations on how well he drove to get himself home in 3rd position. Well done, Josh.
Hey boys, yeah, that was a really fun car to drive tonight. To be honest, that was a cool setup, nice and loose, good car.
Now I've got Carl Wilkinson Withy here with me for a special night, one night only, mate. What did you think of Josh's performance?
Oh, it was very well done out there, Josh. Good to see you back up on the podium, of course. And look, this is a good result championship-wise as well. You've beaten your 2 championship rivals tonight.
Yeah, I managed to get a good run off the top with Jace, and managed to get around the top side and get a couple of cars, so it definitely helped. We had a pretty quick car tonight, and it was a good fun race, and the car was really fun to drive. Usually it's bloody tight around here, but it was complete opposite. It was a real nice loose car. It was, probably the way this car should actually feel on it, especially on intermediate tracks and stuff like that. But good fun.
Yeah, the rear looked really fun out there because we saw a lot of people just stepping out that little bit, and we just wonder if maybe tyre heat might have been a slight issue out there tonight.
If you heat them up a little bit too much, it'll stuff up your run. You got to cool them down for multiple laps, which I sort of did once in the first run. But if you look after them a little bit, you can still sort of if you know how to go hard on them, it's fine. Obviously, Jason smacked it on the head tonight.
It's Jason and it's Indianapolis. I mean, what do you expect?
Exactly, it's his favourite track. So he doesn't usually come race Xfinity, but because it was at Indianapolis, it's his favourite track. Why not?
Look, congratulations tonight, Josh. It's always good to have you up here in the booth. And as I said, beating your two rivals as well. Importantly, having Brian there behind you instead of Hamish as well, that's going to be very good for your championship point total.
Oh, yeah, managed to edge out another 4 points on Hamish. So I think we're about 4 off of Hamish still. But yeah, like I said last week, we need a win. So it's hopefully next week or the week after we get one, because the one after that's a bloody road course, so it won't be happening there. But we'll see how we go.
Just get the rubber ducky out, you'll get that win.
Yeah, I haven't pulled that out since bloody last time we used it.
Exactly. You can't use the magic of the rubber ducky up too much. Josh, the usual thing is shout out love to sponsors and anyone in general.
Yeah, still, you guys are locked on, lads. Putting out your time, and Carl as well. Hope you're getting better, mate. And our sponsors, of course, Affinity Constructions Australia, Mad As Designs, ANZCAR, and Jason on the win, and Hamish as well, being pretty competitive as well tonight.
Yeah, Hamish has an off night, finishes 5th position. That's the story of Hamish's season, isn't it, really?
Oh, yeah, he's Mr. Consistency in this and the silver bullet, mate.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Joshy. Look, hopefully we'll catch you back soon.
No worries. See ya.
Okay, so that brings us to yet another chat with Andrew Dyson getting 2nd place tonight. Well done, Andrew, on yet another podium.
Hey, mate. Thanks, guys.
How was it tonight racing that last little bit, the last 5 laps after the caution, when you got the jump on Jason and you got the lead? Did you think you had him, or was it that he was going to get you back pretty quickly?
Oh, yeah, I had an inkling of hope when I had like a bit of a 4/10 sort of gap, but I don't know, man. I just burnt the rear tyre off it quick, and he was faster all night anyway, so he deserved the win.
He definitely had some speed there tonight. We were talking to Josh about the temperature of the tyres being a bit of an issue tonight. Is that what you found? You could overheat them really quickly and then had to get them back down to temperature again?
I don't know about that. For me personally, I couldn't quite get the technique down to go as fast as Jason, really. It was pretty as simple as that. So I don't think it was like tyre wear or heat or anything like that I was having an issue with. It was more just navigating my way around the circuit.
So,
yeah.
Carl, take it away, mate.
I was just going to ask, that pit stop, that final pit stop, Dyso, that was a stunner.
Yeah, I thought I overshot it a bit, but I don't know. Maybe there was something about Jason's stop that wasn't quite right. But I didn't think it was super awesome. My stop was 14.6. I think I had a 14-second stop earlier in the race.
It was the length of the pit lane. There was a time on pit lane. It was about a second and a half quicker than we saw everyone do all night.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I was on the limit of speeding. I can say.
Yeah.
Everyone's usually doing the same thing. So
can we go back to the green flag pit stop where I think you almost tripped over Reuben Phelps getting in, and then you put it in front of Stevie Dub?
It was Neil Pearson.
No, Neil Pearson. What were you thinking at that moment? How close were you to getting a pit lane penalty at that stage?
If I hadn't have slid around and gotten sideways and everything, it would have been okay. Neil probably actually braked a little bit early. But what happened there was I fully intended on pitting the whole time, and I had absolutely no idea there was a car coming up behind me. So that's on me. And when I realised that he was coming past, I thought, well, I'm just going to have to stay out on the track here and brake and then try and get my way across before the cone. And obviously turning and then braking at the same time, these cars don't do. So that's how I ended up going full sideways. But I was apologising before I even got to anywhere near Neil, because I'm like, sorry, thinking I was going to crash into him.
It was very close. I think there was a little touch on him. And Neil, I don't know what happened, if it was anything else that happened in that pit lane, but he was about 10 seconds slower on pit lane than everyone else and lost a few spots. But look, it looked great on the coverage. It was very well done. You controlling the drift of these cars is amazing. How much effort do you put into practicing that?
Drifting, not a whole lot. It's just heaps of fun. Drifting's like just what I do. Like normally, if I'm at a real life racetrack, I'm usually drifting. So it's one of my favourite things. But that last lap, in-lap was pretty cool. I reckon that was the best lap of the night, the highlight.
Yeah, I saw Jason Martin was trying to copy you in the front, but he couldn't quite get there either. But
Yeah, he's doing all right.
He was doing okay. It was, how close were you getting to the wall some of those occasions? Because I think you took a fairly big hit in that last 5 laps as well, and there was definitely some sparks coming off in front when you were in front of Jason there.
I don't know if it was a big hit. It would have been a graze. Like it wouldn't have been any optional. That's for sure.
Okay, cool. Now, look, as always, you get to shout out all your different people every week. We get to see you here twice a week now. We get you on Locked On Lads TV, shouting out your sponsors. We go again, mate. Thank everyone and shout out everyone you can.
Yeah, not all the time. I can't. Yeah, there's plenty of races that are bad ones too. Don't worry about that. Yeah, shout out to you guys for putting it on. Obviously, ANZCAR, all those folks, all those cool people you see on our car. Simmix.com, South Ellison Hoist, BMX Mechanical, and MP Designers, Phoenix Smokers. They are cool people. Don't worry about that. And obviously, yeah, thanks to all the drivers for showing up and making something of it. It's cool.
Have you got any thought towards the championship at this stage? I haven't had a look at it tonight because I haven't had a chance. Have you got enough races to be competitive in it?
Oh, I don't think so. I may have missed quite a few, but I'll just roll up to the races that look like fun and do my best. And obviously there's guys in here that are going for championships, and I just need to make sure I don't have any big mischiefs with those guys, and it should be okay.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for your time yet again, Andrew, and we will talk to you probably next week, I guess.
Oh, we'll see what happens, mate. I mean, I gotta finish top 3 first. So yeah, there's plenty of fast guys here that are pretty happy to make that not happen.
Okay, mate. You have a good one. Congratulations
Yeah.
again.
See you guys.
And that brings us to the winner of this race. Somehow, Carl Wilkinson Withy did not put the mocker on him, and he did win the race. Congratulations on beating the curse, Jason Martin.
Thanks, mate. That was a pretty good race. I was pretty happy with that one. Didn't expect to go that well.
Oh, just a second quicker than everyone. No, not a second quicker, but you're out to what, 2 seconds there before the caution happened. We were talking about, I was trying to get some insight from our expert commentator here, Carl, on what you do when you have a 2-second lead and you're just coasting along and keeping concentration. Was there any problems keeping your concentration at the end of towards the end of that race?
Oh, definitely not. That car was starting to get pretty loose after about 30 laps, so you had to stay on full attention mode. You couldn't take your eye off the ball at all, because if you did, it was going to spin on exit, or you'd hit that curb or something would happen. So you had to pay attention the whole time. But yeah, I was pushing pretty hard because I wanted to maintain the gap just in case they pitted 1 lap before me. So I wanted to keep that 3-second, 2-second gap, whatever it was. I didn't want them getting too close and getting in front of me after the pit stops.
Yeah, I know Carl's unmuted himself. So have you got a question for Jason, Carl?
Look, it's just nice to speak to you again, Jace. Good that you managed to beat the curse as well. I did say at the beginning of this race that you were probably odds-on favourite tonight, so I kind of felt bad saying that one, expecting to see you in the wall at any stage tonight. But you managed to beat the commentator's curse tonight. It is Indianapolis, of course, which is a track that you are, well, you're infinitely good at. It's one of those places that it's very hard to beat you at.
Yeah, absolutely love this track. It takes a fair bit of technique to be quick here and save tyres, so I really love this track, and that's why I showed up tonight, and yeah, got a great result. Happy with that, and good to see you back.
Well, I'll send you back. Wilco's just dug me out the soil for a couple of minutes. He'll chuck me back in, so... but congratulations on tonight, Jace. Look, the one thing is that technique you were talking about, just keeping the tyres alive and keeping the speed up here. Is it more to do with throttle control, or a little bit on the braking, or a bit of everything?
Yeah, on this track, it's everything. You can't overdrive the entry, you can't overdrive the exit, so it's a bit of everything, and you got to time getting on the gas right. If you get on the gas too early, you're going to push wide, almost hit the wall. So yeah, it takes a lot of technique here, and that's what I love about it.
Look, it's always great to see you up on the top step of the podium. It's been a bit dry this season for the old W's. It's not been the easiest of years, but it is always great when we see that victory come. And tonight, you absolutely proved that you've not gone away. You're still absolutely here, and you've gone nowhere.
I think I got a bit lucky with the track and the setup suiting me. I loved that setup. It felt great to me.
That is a common thing tonight. Everyone's been saying how good this car feels, especially on this track. So, yeah, look, congratulations, Jason Martin, on another good win. Or a good win at Indianapolis, another good win at Indianapolis. Who do you want to shout out and who do you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, got to thank Affinity Constructions Australia for sponsoring the team. Also, Mad As Designs, the boys at Mitch Motorsports. We all did pretty good tonight, so that was good to see. And you guys for putting on the broadcast. And well done to Dyson for second and Josh for third.
Yes, very well done again, Jason. Thank you very much for your time and congratulations. And I'm sure we'll talk to you next time we're at Indianapolis as well.
Oh, can we go there again next week?
I'll see if I can put in a good word for you.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, we'll talk to you later, mate. Bye.
See you.
Okay, that's Indianapolis done, Carl. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for making me sound a bit more professional. Any quick closing thoughts on the race tonight?
Just really good racecraft across the field. We saw a couple of little incidents, but the majority of the time we saw some really good racing, some very good awareness of drivers as well, not called to avoid incidents too. So that was great to see. And as always, the Xfinity's putting on a fantastic show tonight.
You sound like you are about to go the way of me. So let's start wrapping this up. I'll wrap this up now. Actually, like I said on screen, Locked On Racing, Locked On Lads Racing is doing the charity drive for Cure Cancer. Go to lockedonlads.com/charity if you want to find out more. It's all centered around the Spa 24 hour. We are taking the BMW for a spin for 24 hours. The boys are practicing hard. We've got one team at the moment. We still, I think that's where we're going to sit. We may go to a second team. But I think we'll just sit comfortably with one team, have a double stinning where we can. We're not going for a win. We're just trying to go for as many laps as we can. But yeah, it'd be good if you guys can join us. We'll be streaming that all day Saturday night, and then into Sunday morning. We'll be running the charity event all the way through. We want to try and hit 1,500. We haven't not hit over $1,000 each time. So I think the last time we did the 12 hour, we did a 1,500. We hit that, but every little cent can help from you guys, and just every time anyone can come by and share the link or share the stream or anything like that, that would be really great as well. Just showing some support would be awesome. So keep an eye out for that. Like I said, lockedonlads.com/charity. And if you want to join the Discord and join in the fun that way, lockedonlads.com/Discord is another good place to get it. Otherwise, like I said, if you're liking, subscribing, or all that kind of stuff, sharing the broadcasts, which we're doing each and every week, twice a week at the moment, that is even better. Look out for this Sunday night's Australasian Supercars E-Series. I'll be hopefully showing off the brand new PC and what it can do, and we'll slowly build the broadcast up even further from there, and hopefully maybe even get some HDR through on the broadcast. I've just got to work out some things at the back end, whether I can get that doing, but yeah, it's going to start looking really good. But thank you so much for your time tonight, Carl. Thank you so much for everyone who watched us instead of watching Origin, and which wasn't many people by the look of it, but thank you everyone who did. And we will catch you next week for more Thunder, and this Sunday for Australasian Supercars E-Series. Bye for now.